Welcome back, boys and girls.
I used to throw like this.
It's wrong.
And look
That's
like
not what I
this.
want.
Then in 2023,
Jesus.
I retired.
Oh my God, what is happening? Hey, welcome back to hour 2. We are here. We're ready to go. For those of you that just joining us, we are partially through our mace-splaining segment. This was a jam-packed situation. If you were wondering about Rafi Devers, we talked about it, but we are going to get in it again in a moment. But bear with me as we continue through my breakdown of the rule changes that have happened in the last 10 years and whether or not they are paying off or not. Please subscribe to my Substack as well. I have a nice little graph there that maps all this stuff and shows the game time. So you'll be able to know if a lot of the things we just talked about, we just did our first segment on foul territory. So if you want to watch the first hour, you can go watch it over there. It is up there. The first segment was about speeding up the game, and you can see whether or not those things paid off on the Substack. So I'll be posting that later today. All right. But next, the next reason that a lot of rule changes were made were to stop cheating, namely because of the 2017 scandal with the Red Sox and then the 2019 scandal with the Astros. So there were some things added, and I asked the community whether or not they thought they were a good idea. So without further ado, we're going to pop right into it. 2017, they clarified the toe tap balk. Now, if you guys don't remember this guy, this is Corey Guerin, a teammate of mine. He used to do the little, like when he pitched, he would like raise his leg and then tap his toe on the ground and then throw. It was like a little bit of a pause, right? So it's made common in Japan. I believe he learned it in either Korea or Japan too. So where you could bring your leg down, tap, and then go, which basically made it easier for you to deceive a runner and keep them from running, right? What they did was you can't tap your toe anymore. Corey Guerin was getting in trouble about it all the time. I don't know if you remember that back in 2017, but they were basically like, you can't do that anymore. And they really got rid of it. They got rid of it. And I asked the people out there, and guess what? The poll actually didn't get sent, so nobody had an opinion on it, but it turns out no one knew this was a thing, and I didn't either. So, cool. But we don't see it anymore, so I guess that one worked. All right. Also, they implemented this in 2017 that I didn't know about. You can see a line that Carlos Rodon drew in the sand here. So that used to be something a lot of pitchers did. They would draw a line on the mound to try to keep themselves in line or get their stride to a certain length or kind of give themselves a guideline for how they're going to throw. And then they cracked down on that, said you cannot do anything like that to keep yourself in line on the mound anymore. I don't know if they thought it was signaling people, but I had Tommy John in 2017. And when I came back, I just didn't do it anymore because I kind of forgot to do it. But I would have gotten in trouble for this. So I didn't know this was a rule. Now you know. And I don't see anyone doing it anymore. So that one must work as well. But also additionally to curb cheating, they made it so you can have your phones out in the locker room during the game. That's still a rule. The guys walking around in the MLB shirts that are like watching you, make sure you're not like relaying anything, pisses me off. We have a quick announcement. This happened 15 minutes ago. Gage Wood threw a 19 strikeout no-hitter over Murray State for Arkansas. 97 pitches, 19 strikeouts. Excuse me? 19 I didn't say 97 pitches. That's a lot. So congratulations, Gage Wood. You are amazing. All the way back to it, we have PitchCom introduced 2022. PitchCom is a little thing that goes into your ear or over your ear and tells you what pitch is coming, and the catcher can tell you on the thing, on the little armband. Big fan of it, though it was too slow for me if you needed to shake, so I actually went signs with nobody on base. Full disclosure. But I think overall, this is a net positive, especially for rookies coming up. They don't have to worry about signs and changing things up. And now catchers don't have to remember a bunch of different sign systems, which is also good overall for the game. So I'd say this is a W as well. And I think the fans had something to say about this one. What did they say? PitchCom is approved and he's using Gabe's. Everyone loves it. I mean, I love it too. it's one of those things that once it's implemented, you don't really feel its presence anymore, which means it's working. So I think PitchCom was a very good technological advancement for the league, and it does solve so many problems at once that I will give them credit for putting that in play, even though it wasn't necessarily something that I needed all of the time. When I did need it, it was very nice to have. So shout out to that. I think that overall, these cheating rules, or at least the rules to clean up the game so that it's played more fairly, are working, and they've come up with really good solutions to those problems. And so far, so good on now the way you cheat is just, watch the game and pick up tips and stuff, which isn't cheating. I think it's just part of it. So I think the game is at a good place there and has been since 2022, since PitchCom was in, and it's not easy to do anymore. All right, our third section, make the game better. Replay. Competitive rule changes, and we're going to talk about those real quickly. So we want to get the calls right, we want to improve the game, and we also want to address some players' right stuff with the CBA. So we're going to quickly go through these, all right? 2017, again, they added the crew chief, this picture right here. The crew chief, past the 7th inning, they can choose to review something if no one has challenges anymore. I think it's a great addition. I think that was really smart. And I think that made non-home run plays, at least. I don't know why it can't be home run plays, but non-home run plays, at least they were getting more things done. So that's great. Chris Sanborn, did we talk about Devers yet? We are going to get into Devers right after this segment, so just hold on, all right? Devers is going to come back into play here. All right. So crew chief, great, added that. And everyone loves the crew chief thing. They love the fact that umpires can get their gosh dang calls right. That's great. Then they added TrackMan instead of PitchFX. Anyone knows that? It's the radar system in the stuff in the stadiums that give you really accurate information. That's where all the StatCast data comes from. So all of our nerd stuff. This show wouldn't exist without TrackMan, so I'm going to give that a big thumbs up. Let's see if everyone else at home liked TrackMan. Nobody actually cared, actually. Literally no one replied to that poll. Everyone's like, I don't know what that is, I don't care. Then in 19, they expanded, 18, they expanded the netting, protecting the fans. I thought this was a good one as well. Some people didn't, but the fans say. Everyone likes the netting changes as well. I think it's a net positive. We've seen some crazy stuff. Some people get absolutely smoked by baseballs. Albert Romero Jr., you guys remember that one. So I'm super glad that they finally did this one, even though it might change the fan experience a little bit. The netting was important, really important. All right, quick firing, let's go. Rosters expand to 26. So this is 1920. We got COVID rules, and we'll talk about which ones stay. Rosters expand to 26. You can have a 27 player for double headers. And the player option for pitchers goes up to 15 days. So basically, this just made movement. Guys who are in the big leagues, they stay there for longer, net positive, and you get one extra player, though it's not a pitcher, one extra player. There was one not as good thing. That is the automatic runner on second. And what do you guys think that the fans thought about the automatic runner on second? They effing hate it. Everyone hates it. Get rid of it. They hate it. I mean, the games are faster. You know what I mean, fam? How do you guys like it? Do you guys like it? Let me know over here. How are we feeling? Let's get the YouTube up here, actually, because you guys aren't even in the rotation right now. Hold on, I can turn you on here. I'm so bad, guys. So bad. Sorry. So I messed up. All right. There we go. Bad, huh? Teddy Ballgame, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. So nobody likes the automatic runner. Change it. This is the one that everyone's like, no. But then in 2022, we're back. COVID's kind of winded down. People are back in the stadiums. So the universal DH comes into play. How we feel about the universal DH? The poll didn't go through, but overall, people like the universal DH when I asked later. What about the 12-team playoff? That was also added after 22. This is all CBA stuff, by the way. In the CBA stuff added. 12-team playoff. How we feel about that one? Again, the poll didn't go through. Sad. They also eliminated tiebreaker games, so there's no game 163 anymore. People did not like that one. And then we had the Shohei rule. If a pitcher is pitching, they can stay in as a DH when they're done pitching. And then we have the 13 pitchers have to stay on the roster. So you can only have 13 pitchers. I hate this one. I hate it. Getting an extra guy every once in a while is important. This literally made it so you only got 8 relievers at any given time. I hate it still to this day. It's the worst. It's the worst. But then we had shifts getting banned in 23. We had the base size increased by 3 inches, and we had position players only being able to pitch up 8 runs. So we had it's fine for the shifts. People love the shift getting banned. I thought a lot more people would hate the shift getting banned, but evidently only 69 people hated it. Base is bigger. Nobody cares. And Kike Hernandez pitches like every day now. But they have to be up or down by 8 runs. I'm a fan of that one, though nobody was doing it but the Dodgers. Dodgers bring guys up like up 4, which made no sense to me, but they did it. And fans don't seem to care about that at all either. So the game do be a changing, but I think overall net positive. The games are shorter. The game is safer for fans. The game is generally safer for players. There's a couple mobility things, and I think the runner on second is still silly, but for the most part, I'm going to give him a B+. I think that these things have been done pretty well. I'm pretty happy about it, and I don't think there hasn't been a lot of misses. And trust me, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to give him credit. All right, but there has been a couple more pieces of news for upcoming things that are happening in the game, and they're worth talking about. So just hold on to that B+ for a second because it might change a little bit here. We have had a couple pieces of information come out recently. The baseball has more drag than it's had in a very long time, meaning it does not go as far. Think opposite of juice balls of 2019. Surprise, the baseballs are different. Again, no way. It's weird because offense is actually up. So we're both trying to get more offense but less home runs at the same time. But the MLB, for the first time, has acknowledged this change, and they don't know what's going on. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Get David Fincher on it. Maybe he can figure it out. This is the drag. So this is a cool, very easy to understand graph about how drag has changed over the years. For example, that's 2019. It's slowest drag ever. That means the ball went really far. And then they changed it, and then it went up again, and then it went up again, and then it went way down again, and then it went way, and then now it's the highest it's ever been, right? This is also the Goldilocks ball. Remember this? Aaron Judge going for 62 home runs. Suddenly the drag's low. Anyway, if you notice, the drag lowers in the middle of the year, and then it kind of does a U for the most part. Like it's higher in the beginning and higher at the end because of cold weather. And when it warms up, it goes farther. This year, it is the highest it's been since this graph started, which is interesting. So stay tuned on that. Andrew McCutcheon, we'll talk about him a little bit later. He has comments on that as well and things he was told. It's very interesting. And I actually have one of the balls, so we're going to get into that as well. Also, the ABS is coming. Manfred says they fully intend to do it as long as it's best for the players and the players agree on the way it's implemented. The common knowledge behind this is they think that it's going to be the challenge system. I agree. It's most likely going to be the challenge system. That is the best way to go. But I do want to push back on one thing that Rob said because he wants to get a little bit of credit about working with the players. That's a BS comment. With the way that the joint competitive committee works, basically the body that votes in and says, will we do rules, is 11 people, okay? In this group of 11, there is 1 umpire, 6 people from the commissioner's office, and 4 players. If that sounds familiar, that's because 6 is a majority. So no matter what, the MLB is going to push things through if they want to do it. There's been 6 votes. Every single one has either been 11-0 or 7-4 with all 4 players saying no. Those are the only 2 options, and every time it's going to go through. So Rob doesn't get to act like he's like, I'm asking the players, we're not going to do it unless they agree. No, you're going to do it either way because they've not agreed 3 times, and you've said we're doing it anyways. So don't act like you're this. This thing was like done in good faith, because it's not. So I just want to be very clear. So when the CBA comes around and like, hey, we worked with you guys on the ABS thing, and he uses that as leverage, just be like, meh. Okay? Because he's going to. I want everyone to know that. That said, ABS is good, and it will be 11-0. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm always going to point that out because the stupid Joint Competitive Committee is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and it makes me feel like I'm a toddler. Because I'm like, this is so pointless and based on nothing. Why do we even have it? Just do whatever you're going to do, so it's your fault. So you can't just say we had a voice, because you can just ignore us and still do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. So anyway, F that. F that. Last thing before we move on to talk about some Devers news, I want to really quickly point out there are some really meaningful changes in media, and these things are important to talk about because this is very important to me and the things we're doing here at Mayday as well. Okay? The media landscape that covers baseball is changing in a big way, and I am very happy about it because, oh, by the way, the ABS system, this is how everyone's feeling about it. They should do challenges. This is 98% of people. I think challenge is the way to go. Everyone agrees. Just do it. Thank you. Media. John Boy sells a stake to MLB, which is huge. I love this man. Him and Jake do a great job. Trevor Plouffe, Chris Rose, all my homies are over there. Jolly Olive. Shout out to everybody who works at John Boy that I have met and haven't yet. I think they are new age. I think they're great. They brought YouTube into the forefront. I think it's great. They're going to get access to IP. They're going to get access to events and running things an interesting way. And I think they're going to provide really interesting take on the game of baseball. And I love that. One interesting thing is, though, going to see how they cover the CBA coming up, because MLB has a history of having comments about how they want you to cover things. Just trust me on that. I got anecdotal note. I got evidence. I've been told by many people that this is an active thing they do. So that I trust them. They say they have creative control. I trust them. That was really important for them to maintain creative control. But it will be interesting to see how that is played out. But that aside, that's just one thing. Net positive. I think it's great. I can't wait to see the ideas they come up with, and I can't wait to see how they present the game and bring in the next generation of viewer. I think it's awesome. They're bringing the game closer to you guys, the viewers, and I think that's a blast. And also, we can't ignore the Savannah Bananas and what they've been doing for baseball. This is a great indicator of how you can innovate. Now, you don't need to like Banana Ball, right? You don't need to enjoy that specifically, but you can appreciate the change that they have made and the way that they've changed the psyche of those that make decisions about the game. Would I go to a bunch of Savannah Banana games? Probably with my son, but would it be something I would just watch? No, because I'm a baseball nerd. I want to watch baseball just for the sake of baseball. But like, that's not everyone's cup. And also, these guys they have a waiting list to go to games that's 3.5 million people. So you can't argue with that either. And also, shout out to all the players. Think what you want about them. They are bought in. They're having a blast, and they really are. That energy's real. So, good, bad, or indifferent. I think the Savannah Bananas net positive for baseball. So, in conclusion, rule changes and the way the game has changed in the last 10 years. Is it good or bad? Going in a good place? If the goal was to keep baseball from dying, I think that goal is being achieved every single day, and I'm happy with the outcomes. And I know here on the channel that you guys are usually like, Trevor, usually you're really pessimistic. Well, this time I'm not. I think it's good. Keep on going. And I will continue to do my best on this channel to also make baseball interesting for you to partake in. All right? And that is, I'm explaining. Thank you, guys. All right. Remember, join the Substack. Join the Substack. All right. Savannah Bananas is for women and families. Absolutely, sure. Those are that is two very big demographics outside of dudes. So if you can get everybody to like it, let's do it. I love it. I think it's great. Remember, check the Substack out. All kinds of cool stuff behind the scenes. We're working on new videos that are only going to go there, right? It's free. Everything is free at the moment. There will be a little bit of things you can get for extra if you want to subscribe later. But right now, it's free. I'm going to keep you guys updated on everything I'm doing, and it'll be behind the scenes stuff too. And Trevor Throws Cheese will also be in there as well. So I hope you guys are doing great. All right. If you guys want to know about the Rafi Devers and all my takes on that, go over to Foul Territory and watch the first hour of the show. It's like a 20-minute diatribe. But let me know if you guys have questions about Devers and you want to talk about it in the Q&A section in about 20 minutes. That's time to do it. Put it in the chat now. We will grab it, and then we'll bring up the queue and talk about it there. We have some nastiest pitches that we can get into that were curated by our friends in the back room over there, my boys. Bless up. Thank you. But I want to talk about a guy that you guys might be wondering about. I want to do a short go in deep because we had a debut happen recently and it was electric. This is Jacob Misiorowski. Is that right? He is 6'25", 141 pounds. He looks like his arms are extending and made of rubber, but in reality, it's an optical illusion. Oh, by the way, he also throws 102 miles an hour. But is he the real deal? Let's talk a little bit about what Jacob M has to offer the game of baseball, because I think there's going to be a lot of fun here. So let me just get this pulled up and get it in big for you real quick, and we will do a little bit of a deep dive on Jacob here. All right, that is the thing. That is my thing in the background. This is Jacob's Baseball Savant page, and we're just going to do a quick kind of check in on the things he does and the types of things I look for when a guy makes his first outing. If I were to do a quick and dirty scouting report of a pitcher that I'd never seen pitch before, this is kind of where I would go to get an idea of the types of things they're going to do, especially as a starting pitcher. So one thing that stands out, and I was joking about him being 6'23", he's actually 6'7", but he's got real Taylor Rogers energy going. Real skinny dude, real skinny guy. He's 23 years old, went to Crowder College. Don't know where that is, but must be a baseball powerhouse. He throws absolute cheese. And let's talk a little bit about Arsenal and the things he throws, because it's interesting. He's a four-seam slider, curveball, changeup guy, right? Your classics. Four seams top of the zone. He throws, like I said, high 90s. I believe his average fastball in his first start was 99.0 miles an hour. It's pretty good. And he throws the classic four-pitch mix. In the future, there might be a sinker, might be a cutter added, some version of that, but he seems like he has a seam shifted changeup as well. He threw two of them. They were really good. The curveball is really good. Everything grades out really well. So 4 pitches out the gate, great. He's not a 2-pitch pitcher. That's what we want to see. This is what we call his movement profile, but Eno calls it the pitch constellation. I think of it as a compass. Okay? So over here, way over on that side, when I look at when I'm looking at the constellation where the pitches map, where they are is basically like the red up there is the four seam, right? The higher it up, that's the north. That's the ride. So the higher it up is up in the constellation, the higher it is riding. So you want it to be really highly up, and then to the right is it fading to the right, and to the left is it cutting, right? So think about it like the middle of that's the strike zone, and the pitches are moving outside of the zero of the strike zone. Okay. I call this covering your quadrants, okay? You want something that it stays up, rides, then you want something that goes down, almost opposite of it. And then you want something that fades to the right, and then you want something that goes to the left, right? So you can cover the horizontal both ways and the vertical both ways. Like that is ideal if you're gonna have 4 pitches, and by all accounts, this dude has it. So if they're not going to be exactly on the line, so if you're not exactly north, exactly south, exactly east, exactly west, you want to be able to draw a line where their movement plots are opposite of each other, okay? So like the curveball and the fastball and the slider and the changeup. Think about those as opposites because they cover the X, slider and the changeup cover the X axis, and the four seam and the curveball cover the Y axis for the most part. That is a very good constellation. I'm feeling really good about that. because his slider's so hard, low 90s, it's like Jacob deGrom's slider, that he doesn't need a ton of movement. So the velocity makes that good, and then his changeup fades like 24 inches. That's insanity. And it's also really hard. So those two pitches are the same speed, and they move opposite directions, just enough to make them good. The curveball's big, but it's also hard. His fastball's 99, and it rides pretty well, and it's hard. Opposites of each other. So this is pretty optimized. It's pretty interesting. We'll see how the slider performs because it is a good pitch moving forward. But for the most part, that's a great place to start. I'm feeling really good about it, and I think he is as advertised. I think he has a potential to be very good. Command withstanding, because command is his thing that he struggled with a little bit in the minors. Also, another interesting thing about him. He's really tall, and he has crazy extension, 7.5 feet of extension, which would put him in the 100th percentile. It would be up there with Aroldis Chapman. It would be up there with Edwin Diaz, which means he's getting so far down the mound, 7.5 feet down the mound, he's releasing the ball, and it's just on you, 101, just by you. We saw Lars Nootbaar just getting blown away, okay? It'll be interesting. So he has the extension also that makes him an outlier and makes his 101 look like it's 105. Another box checked in the he's freaking nasty category for me. The last couple of things I want to do really quickly on him, I want to talk about some Fangraph stuff. Oh, by the way, just to add to the extension, he also has a low arm angle, which creates another interesting effect. So when we talk about deception, there's two main things I look at when you want to see if a guy's deceptive. One, extension, how far out does he get the ball? And usually when you're really tall, the farther you get out lowers the height at which it's released. So if you're really tall and then it's a really low release height, that is a change in the guy's eyes. So you're already like, whoa, this is jarring because you're so tall. I thought you would stay tall. Be downhill thunder is what we call it usually. And he doesn't. He gets down the mound and he's low. And then he has a 30-degree arm angle, which is even lower. So his release point's really low and arms low, and then he's on you. And then the ball rides. So it does when a guy's at low arm slot, you think it's gonna like run because you're on the side of the ball. He doesn't have that. So you get this, he's tall, he's gonna throw like sinkers. Oh, now he's really low. It's gonna be four seams that runs. Oh, it's a low arm slot. Okay, it's gonna run a little bit, and then it stays true and you swing under it. So he's got these, call it like 3 levels of deception, and he does them all, which also tells me that he could be a dominant swing and miss guy, like a dominant swing and miss guy. It's gonna come down to the command, right? And that's where Fangraphs come in, and shout out to Eno Saris for all his great work here. Let's talk about Stuff Plus a little bit and then move on, okay? Stuff Plus on his four seam is a 133. That's 33% above league average. That's really good. That's really, really good. Slider, 114. That's so good. 162 in curveball. That might be the best curveball. So, in terms of stuff, and his changeup's an 89. I don't know. It might be too hard, doesn't move a lot, but it's just going to be a wrinkle pitch for him anyways, and he got swings and misses on both the ones he threw. So, I'll give him a benefit out there. So he's got 130 Stuff Plus, which might put him up there in the league. And overall 116 pitching plus puts him up there in the league. Location plus is a problem. Command's going to be a thing. He's 23-year-old. Give him time. So he's going to throw a ball right down the middle a lot, and he's going to walk guys. But if he cleans that up, he could be very good very quickly. I'm talking about one of the best pitchers in that division, in that league. Before you know it, if he's healthy and if he starts commanding the sides of the zone that he needs to in a quality way, Jacob M. could be your next ace for the Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, I'm saying it. Sue me. You got it, bud. You got this. That was Going Deep. You're welcome. All right. Boo. What do y'all think, guys? Should we get into the nastiest pitch of the week? Who wants to do some nastiest pitches? We got 25. We sifted through all the ones you guys gave us, and then we'll go right into. All right, let's do nastiest pitches of the first half of June. We do this every 2 weeks. If you guys want to put these in there, if you want to participate in this moving forward, Your nastiest pitches can go in the Discord in the nastiest pitches of the week category. We clean it out and then we pick them again. Shout out to Henry and Caleb for putting these together. And my God, we got some of the same people with the people who've been in there doing this regularly. Thank you so much. You're making this better. So without further ado, let's just go. Let's just get right into it. Just right where. I am missing. Anyway.
Nastiest pitches of the week.
And it looks like these are in reverse order. Thanks, guys. All right, first pitch, Michael Waka. This is coming from our guy, L. Rosenberg, in the Discord. What do you got for me, Wak? Oh, law butt, dude. Ooh, yuck. As always, we have a nice and a gross rating system, and that goes in at icky. That's gross. Very nice, Michael. Mikey Waka, doing God's work. I love that. We get a gross right out the gate. Then we got Louis Castillo coming in, also from Rosenberg. Let's go. What do we got? What? Is that Cal Raleigh being a Hall of Famer? Nice. He did buckle him a little bit. I will be honest. Getting Carlos Santana to pause at anything or just like be buckled is hard. He's a really annoying guy to pitch to. So yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Didn't hit spot, but we got a Hall of Famer out of the best hitter in the league. Oh. Let's see it again. The king of the back foot curveball, Charlie Morton. Been a tough year. Got to give him some love. And this is from SLGS Reds. Nailed it. Get him again. Oh, he gone. Shanuel. You got, dude. Sometimes you just shouldn't have swung. Shouldn't have swung that. Gross. Good job. All right, next up. We know this guy, Jacob Doors. Gross. Thank you, Aardvark. Thank you for that one. Very good. He's excited. I'm excited. Everyone's excited. As he should be. I love this dude, man. I'll watch him every day. Just wish he would eat some food. All right, next up, we got Bushley. That's a good name. This one's from Dacus Aardvark. Actually, the next three are from Dacus Aardvark. Bushley with the Texas Rangers. Let's see what you got. I forgot you can't do that. Editor, like, put me like painting something right here. Happy trees. Sick. That was nice. Very good. Love it when a plan comes together. Next up, current Chicago White Sox, Aaron Savali. Let's get it. I've had better. I've seen better. Oh, now we got Rafi. Is this coincidence? I don't think so. Let's see what Rafi gets from, Orsay. So I know this kid. I played with him in AAA for a minute when I was coming back, and he's a very confident young man. What do we got? Change up? Oof. Gets me medicine, bro. That gave me a headache. Gross. Very nice. Good shot. Good shot. Araldis. Was that a split piece and Johnson piece? You don't throw one of those. Volpe throws the bat. We get the pause. Chapman 37-year-old going on 24. Guy's a monster, and he's gross. He's still gross. Still doing it. Still doing it. Love it. All right. Oh, Jacob Wilson. Is it Jacob Wilson? Is it Steven Wilson? Slider? Curveball? Yeah, curveball. It's always a sweeper. Hey guys, you know what's really fun? It's like Where's Waldo, but it's will Steven Wilson throw a goddamn fastball today? I like his curveball, but God, like I seriously like he literally just throws the same pitch every single time. So, but he did throw a fastball in that AB. So, okay, look at that. Look at that. Do what you got to do, man. It's the big leagues. But I don't think I've ever seen a highlight of him throw anything but that same pitch. All right. Kodai Senga. Here she goes. Hey, at least the Rockies freaking City Connects are nasty. Gross. I love the double highlighter undershirt out of Alvy too. What are we doing? Jacob deGrom. Go sit in the truck. Go sit in the truck. Go. I'm gross and I'm Jake. I do wakeboarding and I throw back foot sliders. Congratulations. Caleb Thielbar, big curveball. Here we go. Whee, whoop. Abrams gets buckled, dude. Buckled. Gross. I know I told you I had a rating system. I don't. I just say whatever comes into my head. All right, let's see what we got. Is this Griffin Canning? Yep. Ah! Buckled. Buckled. He got buckled too. That's gross, bro. That's gross. Nobody says screwball anymore, but dudes throw them. There's a couple guys who throw the airbender is a screwball. Honeycutt throws a true screwball, like a crazy pronated screwball. But I will say this, seam shifted changes are not screwballs. You're not allowed to say that. But, you know, you buckle the best, you're a buckler. Nick Pivetta, Bohemian Rhapsody fastball. What we got? Oh, Wilmer. Oh no. That's gonna be in the running for the highest fastball swung at of the year. And that's what you want. I got that trophy one year. Thank you, Mr. Montcastle. All right, moving on. Clayton Kershaw, it's a curveball. Guarantee you it's a curveball. I bet it's a curveball. Is it a curveball? I bet it's a curveball. It's probably a curveball. Sick. All right, quick. Let's go. Hunter Dobbins. Let's see. He hates the Yankees, but what can he do against Jorge Soler? Throw a cutter away that is swung at like it was right down the middle. Soler is one of these guys who does not change his swing. So watch, he just swings down the middle. And he's like, oh, it wasn't there. Him, Adam Duvall, very similar. Hunter Renfroe, all very similar. Tomoyuki Sagano, getting his probably third strikeout for the year. It's pretty solid. Getting Cal Raleigh, not an easy thing to do these days. Not an easy thing to do. Very nice. It's a good pitch, high quality. Jimmy Herget, he's back. Jimmy, he's always got great freaking cleats, dude. Big fan, dude. Sorry about your guys' season so far. I mean, he hit the glove. Paul Skeens. So I think that's actually the highest one of the. Hey, Pavetta already getting unseated literally like the 3 pitches later. Paul Skeens is also going to have the highest strikeout of the year because, of course, he wins everything. He's a freak. Oh, I bet it's a slider. Here he is. I'll see him at the family reunion. Dustin. Whee! Come on. What we got? Watch your knee. Very nasty. Who is that? I don't even know who that guy is. Taylor Walls. Right on it. Right on it. See it again. It's pretty good. Josh Hader's pretty good. I prefer his fastball, but whatever. Brian Arroyo, sorry. Let's see that again. Sorry. We'll start it from the beginning because these things go fast. Slider. Dude, he's filthy. He strikes out so many dudes. Oh, that's another one. That's a different pitch. What? Oh, the old White Castle special. Slider. Very good. Very sick. Very gross. Garrett Crochet. Good morning. Good evening. Good night. Good morning. Good evening. A good night. Like to see it. All right, final pitch of the day. Nastiest pitches. This thing is nuts. This is one of the grossest things I've ever seen. Softball pitcher, 67, hits a piece of dirt out of the air and then just shrapnels her catcher in the face. Ew. Yes, you did, Danny, and it made it in the rundown. You'll probably never see that again. So, very good. Very nice nastiest pitches. Let's give a round of applause. That is your nastiest pitch of the week. I appreciate you guys for putting them out there, and the more you know, all right? Let's get back into it. We have some Internet Says. I have a couple things for you on the Internet Says side of things, and we will get into answering some questions, and maybe we'll get go a little bit longer in the stream because today there was a lot going on, all right? We will talk about Devers in just a moment, but I would love to talk in depth about what is happening on the internet after we answer this question. So I got this question in the Discord. I thought it was interesting. When a team is below 500 and nothing is working offensively, bullpen is weak, losing games, the team has had leads in, and what is going on in the front? Like, what is going on in the front office when the team just can't get anything done? Fans are upset to perceive lack of action, but I'm sure behind the scenes people are working furiously to find solutions. Give this Braves fan hope. I will say it depends on the organization. Rockies, nothing. Pirates, very little. The places that have been the same people, and you've seen the same story happen every single year, they'll do like one or two things, get you off their back, and they will do nothing. The Braves, however, are actively trying to figure it out. They're trying to decide if they want to buy at the trade deadline. They want to see if they can add some depth. They're figuring out if they can bring young guys up and help. Spencer Strider, thank God, threw really well recently. So I will say the Braves are an organization, but where behind the scenes they're furiously trying to figure things out, and they really don't want to get rid of Snitker, or they would have done it already. Because sometimes you get hurt by injuries and you're just underperforming, and you have to be patient. It's a long season. You want to get past the trade deadline anyways with the team you have. You really want to, and I wouldn't count them out, and I never will, because I watched them personally chase us and catch us over 100 games, and it sucked. And it sucked so much. So that's a great question. If you guys want to answer questions, if you have a question for me for the stream, and I'm not live, or you want me to answer it in the next one, you can do so also in the Discord. Questions for Trevor. I try to get ones, and you can get up on the screen. Thank you, Broadman, for that. I do appreciate you quite a bit. Very good question. Very good question. The internet, talking about baseball as well. We can get into that a little bit. There was some funny things. Shout out to David Korn, to Henry Neiman, and to Caleb Bartholomew for finding this stuff for us. Murray State, who just got no hit. Sorry, Murray State fans, if there are any of you out there. But they had this piece of merch circulating the internet waves. It says, it has, I believe they're are they the Mustangs? Murray State Mustangs? I believe they are. No, Murray State Racers, sorry, it says here. Someone was seen in Omaha this week, had a picture of the Murray State mascot, a horse named Dunker. So this is Dunker. This is a shirt they were wearing. It says, "Our mascot's not the only thing hung like a horse." So I think they're talking about penises. In other news, this one needs to get big. This is a high school state championship game in the 13th inning where the pitcher boxed home the winning run. This is villain origin story stuff. You can see the catcher reacting there. The pitcher seems to move his back leg before his front leg, and they end up losing the state championship because of it. You know how high school is. They're never going to let him forget about that. Cedar Cliff beat North Penn 1-0. It was a 0-0 game in the 13th inning. In the 6A Pennsylvania State Championship with a walk-off balk. He's pitching with a stretch, accidentally jiggled his leg, and unfortunately balked home the winning run. Not how you want to lose it, but I think he'll see better days. It'll get better, hopefully. In the biggest Red Sox news of the week, well, it was until yesterday. This is a rare thing you don't see in the wild much, but this is a person who is both a Yankees and a Red Sox fan. Let me explain. From WEEI's Tom Carroll, this is Bridget from Vermont. She's a massive Red Sox fan. She's rocking a Red Sox jersey. She's got a Red Sox hat on. But she does have one caveat. She loves Aaron Judge. So at Fenway, she's sitting literally like behind home plate or just by the dugouts. And every time Judge comes up, she puts on a Judge's robe over her Red Sox jersey, but she's still wearing a Red Sox hat. And for many people, that is just blasphemy, and you're not allowed to do it, and you should be punished. So, how do you feel about it? I think it's freaking bold. I think it is. I just think it takes balls, bro. Hey, like what you like, do what you do, and deal with the consequences later. Though, I will say, Aaron Judge, can you just pick like a player who's not the best player on the planet? It feels bandwagon-y to me a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, if she was like, I love Anthony Volpe, or I'm a huge Trent Grisham fan, I'd be like, but she's like, nah, the best player. I want the best player. I'm a fan of the best player. She's from Vermont, dude. What do you expect? I don't know. I don't know anyone from Vermont. Are Vermont's bandwagoners? What's you want to know about Vermont? Whatever was on White Christmas. That's what I know about Vermont. Okay? I know it's beautiful. I've driven through it before. I just don't know anything about the history. Okay, don't yell at me. Anyways, last piece of little news here. Adam Wainwright. Could he be in Congress? In a recent poll, Missouri's 2nd District tested former St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Adam Wainwright, a potential congressional matchup against GOP Rep Ann Wagner. They just wanted to see, could this guy win an election against a Republican? To be honest, it surprised me a little bit that he would run as a Democrat, but that's based on not a lot, but I guess it's a pretty, I guess these are races that aren't very close. So like maybe if we got a professional athlete in there, it would change things. But he, when asked about it, he said, the time for me, if ever, is not right now. Smart words, Adam. Smart words. On Wednesday, the Democrats recorded their 5th straight loss to the Republicans in the annual congressional baseball game, though, 13-2. So maybe that's why this was run. They're like, hey, guys, politics aside, we got to win a softball game, bro. Or we got to win a baseball game. We need a ringer. And if they need it, they need it. And that makes a lot of sense to me. All right. Oh, and the last little piece, we have Andrew McCutcheon. I know that's very small, so I will paraphrase it for you. And Andy McCutcheon was like, hey, I think the balls have more drag. He asked the league. They said, yes, they do have drag. And they're trying to remedy the situation. And it just so happened that Henry went to a Mariners game, or he actually was working a Mariners game, and got a ball. And this is a baseball from the 2024 season. So I am going to do some forensic testing of this ball to tell you if it is different. All right? All right, we need to get me center up here. Okay. All right, you ready? So this is a baseball from this season. Smells the same. So check that box. I'll write that down. Smell test passed. I will say, the seams are bigger and it feels a little bit softer. So trust me, I know a lot, like just from picking the ball up, we can tell the difference. These are different laces. This would tear my finger up. Usually you can barely feel the laces because they're soft and they are lower. They are definitely higher. But is it truly harder or softer? Let's see. It's real. It's a real ball. Passed the bite test. Yeah, these have more drag. He's right. So the balls are different again. Surprise. And Andy McCutcheon not too happy about it, but it seems like he pays the $8 to get the longer tweets. I don't know how I feel about that. All right. Isn't that interesting? Or no, the internet says. I do have one last thing for you, an interesting fact of the day. This is the crazy fact of the day, and it's about a couple, a father and son, as it is the Father's Day edition here at Mayday. The crazy fact of the week is about a father and his son, namely the Bonzes. The highest WAR of a father-son duo in the MLB history is obviously Bobby and Barry Bonds. Obviously, I mean, I know Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. is pretty close, but Barry probably could do it all on his own, and Bobby is pretty good. With a combined WAR of 220.7. Oh my God. Okay, whoa. Okay, so they have a 220.7. They have more than 100 WAR lead on second place with the other duo with. They have more than 100 WAR lead on second place, and lead probably is always going to be there because these guys are not playing anymore. With the only other duo with more than 100 WAR being Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. with a combined 118.3 WAR. So they have 102 more WAR than second place. So are they the greatest father-son duo of all time? Absolutely. But did they play together? I don't think so. Did they play together? I don't know. You tell me. And that is Crazy Fact of the Week. All right, let's get into your questions, guys. I want to answer some questions. All right? I want to answer some questions. So let's turn this thing off. I don't know why it's not turning off. 1 second. All righty. Answering your questions as a Red Sox fan. Hold on. Put that one up again so I can get into it. Red Sox fan, I want to die. I want to die. Awful trade, awful ownership, awful front office. They've completely lost the city. Have they? Seriously though, do we hate that trade? Do we hate that Rafi's gone? Did we love Rafi? Yeah, look, I know how good he is. But truly, do you guys feel like this was just a miss and it's going to completely backfire in your face? Or do you think that one of those young guys is going to step up? Because remember, there's one positive thing, or there's one part of this that is interesting. Hold on, video down. No, god damn, dude. There we go. Dude, I want the chat. I want the chat only. What? Where is the thing? There we go. You got to remember, now they have payroll free, a lot of payroll free. Especially if Bregman ends up going on, tons of payroll free. So at least now they've freed up a ton of money. So now they can spend money elsewhere. So just remember. But he's a 10 hitter and traded him for peanuts. I don't know about the trading. I don't know. I think the big prize is the dump of salary, because I think they feel like they made a long-term commitment that they didn't need to make. I don't think they wanted to do that, and I think that that's what they were trying to accomplish. So I will throw that out there. How do you feel about the Trevor's trades will impact possible extensions with the other players in the Red Sox? I think it opens it up. See, this is the interesting thing, right? I think that now they have all of this space to pay other guys and use it in free agency. Now I think they can be really, really aggressive in free agency. Why would any player want to sign there after the front office treated Devers that way? They would have to trade for it. Teddy, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's the way it's seen by players as much as like a loyalty thing. I don't think so. Or it will have an effect with some guys, but I don't think guys will be like, oh, I'm inevitably gonna get effed, because you got to remember, the guy who traded like Mookie was different than the guy who traded Devers. Like, they have a plan, and honestly, this could be coming biased from me knowing Breslow and being a fan of him and how he operates. Like, he's got a plan, and so I think he can sell you a plan. I think they're like, he's going to be a DH, and we can't just pay a DH as much. And he just rubbed him the wrong way with his unwilling. Like, if it's going to be like pulling teeth every time they're going to make an adjustment, they just saw him as an obstacle to building the team the way they needed to make it, and it just was bad timing. I think that's really where it came down to. And yeah, there's going to be sour feelings, and but I think that they have an opportunity now to spend more money. So I wouldn't say it's so doom and gloom as much. And they got four for one, and they got some pitching depth, which they needed. They needed some pitching depth. It's not going to be long-term pitching depth. None of these guys are going to probably replace him, but they're going to have to do some other stuff. But yeah, it's small market vibes. I think this is a unique situation based on the way he was acting and how much money he was owed. Like, they're locked. They're attached to him and locked in for a really long time. So this isn't just like the Mavericks thing made no goddamn sense. This one doesn't make as much sense, but it doesn't make a ton of sense either, at least in the short term. But long term, it makes more sense. And it's baseball too. Like basketball, one guy can take over a game. Baseball, one can't. Do you think Devers will play first this weekend against the Sox despite them? I think he'll play first just because they need him to play first. Because Wilmer is it changes when you go to another team and you now have two DHs. You're more willing to work with that situation as opposed to moving out of your spot for someone else to take it. That's a different dynamic. So he's not going to go in there and be like, Wilmer, I'm the DH now. Like, not going to. So they're going to have to get creative. But we talked about this earlier. They have Matt Chapman, so he's not going to be a third baseman. They have another Gold Glove third baseman. So that ain't going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I think it's a little bit better. It's not good. It's definitely not good, and I don't think they should have done it. But I think it could work out as an opportunity to work out. A lot of projected lineup slotting Roman Anthony at DH. Wouldn't this hinder his development? Do not DH Roman Anthony. Do not DH Roman Anthony. Don't. I would say Bregman comes back, DH him a little bit more. He's great defensively, but especially because it's a hamstring thing, you can get compensation in injuries on the other leg because you're leaning on this one too much. That would be a good way to keep him off his feet and make sure he keeps getting healthy. So I would say do that. But yeah, they have a real problem with positions right now. And they're so bad defensively. They have to get better defensively. They have to. Are the Red Sox on a rebuild? It feels like so. But it feels well, now he was the last member of the 2018 World Series team. He's gone now. So it feels like I think they're transitioning. I don't think they're fully rebuilding. They signed Crochet. They have an ace, and he's been an ace. So the pieces are there. Rafi had only his bat to offer. So they need to replace his. They need to replace his bat somehow. But yeah, they're going to struggle. They're gonna struggle. So. If you were in Devers' situation, would you have just moved to first? No, I would have pushed back. And then I would have, I would have pushed back on it. But then I would have tried to remedy the situation behind closed doors. And when the push comes to shove, the reality of the situation is you are going to be there for a long period of time, and it's just not going to work unless you make some concessions. Because at the end of the day, you are the player, and your team needs you to do that to be better. Like, if you agree that your team is in a better position to win games if you do that, and then you don't do it, now you're just being selfish. That was the thing. That's what's interesting to me. I want to know if he admitted that. Like, we are better if I just go play first. We'll be better. It'll make our team better. If that's the case, not doing it is selfish and you get traded, which is probably what happened. So. And now we get to watch Bogarts, Devers, and Mookie Betts all play against each other. Oh, can you put that up one more time? Sorry, I missed it. I wish I would love it to post on the dashboard. If you watched the Clubhouse Red Sox Netflix series, Devers pretty vocal about feeling like Red Sox weren't always trying to win last year as well. Feels like this was inevitable. Yeah, he's been critical, and he's been frustrated with them and impatient. And I get that. But remember, Cal Raleigh kind of made some comments a couple years ago about like trading Seawald, and then he had to like rein it in. And Devers was just like, he was constantly kind of like, I don't like this, and it was getting out publicly. And it's Boston, man. Like they're just like in New York. There's like four or five different cities that one little thing, they're gonna run with it. They're gonna ask about it all the time so they can sell, so people will listen to them on the radio, man. It's just, there's also that, which is just frustrating. It makes everyone's job harder. So you gotta know that, not give them ammo. I know that seems stupid, but like, yeah. This seems inevitable. This seems like it's not somewhere he wanted to be anymore either. So maybe this is what he wanted. Maybe everyone's happier this way. And at the end of the day, long term, we want everyone to be happier because then they'll play better. Shohei's pitching tonight. What do you expect from him in his first time back since 2023? You think strike zone changes will impact him? No. Especially one outing. You won't notice it in one outing. He's just going to go throw all of his pitches, throw an inning or two. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he's throwing 90. He was throwing 697 in his live BP. He's going to be throwing high 90s. He's going to have adrenaline. You're going to see probably a couple nasty strikeouts, and then they're going to get him out of there. And is it going to really affect the game? Probably not. Dobbins is a good pitcher so far, but also a massive clown. Oh, Agathor. Ooh, someone didn't like the comments. Do you expect Shohei to mix his slider, sweepers, curveballs tonight, or stay mostly fastball splitter? That's a very good question. I wouldn't be surprised if he left one or two, maybe the curveball out, but he will throw his sweeper. That's his best pitch. So we could also fast, like splitters aren't better than breaking balls on your elbow. So he's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he's fastball, sweeper, splitter, just because of the amount of pitches he's going to have to throw. So. I hope he doesn't hit high 90s. He'll blow out his arm again. That's not how it works. How much do you think this will impact the clubhouse for Sox? Yeah, that's the part I'm worried about, is the effect losing Devers is going to have in the clubhouse. Not that specifically like they're like, oh, he's our guy and we need him to, we need him or we can't win. But I will say, when you lose like your best hitter, suddenly you're looking around like, oh no, are we going to lose a lot more? Like there is a little dauntingness. It's like when you lose someone to an injury and you're like, oh, shoot, right? All right. Okay, guys, One more question. DK is talking to me in the chat. One more question. We'll get one last question in here, and then I'm going to take off. As always, I'm here every Monday, except for next Monday. I will not be here. Okay, our last question. Does Devers play full-time DH when Chapman is back from injury? I would say that is what I'm leaning towards, and then expect Wilmer Flores to get platoon, pinch hit, play maybe some first base. I do know Wilmer plays some first base. Maybe Devers plays a little bit first base. Maybe they do a little thing there where they're like, hey, would you be okay with playing first base once or twice a week? Maybe that's good. I would say that would be my guess because they both have the ability to play first base. They're not great first basemen, but they've both been infielders who can pick it a little bit. So at least that's closer to their natural skill set. So I will say I think that is something they'll try if obviously Rafi is open to it. But they have a luxury to kind of ease him in as opposed to being like, do this. So that's what I'm anticipating. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here on Mayday. It is a show about the show. As always, it's been a pleasure. We talked. My voice hurts. I talked a lot today. Rafi Devers, freaking all the rules changing. The anonymous players poll. Sub to the YouTube. Make sure you are followed so you don't miss the show in the future. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to David Korn, our producer, helps write this show. Henry Neiman and Caleb Bartholomew for helping assemble the show, pick all the nastiest pitches, and do all the nuts and bolts and get everything done for this stuff. I would be lost without you guys. We have 1,000 fun projects coming up soon. I got Trevor throws cheddar on the YouTube channel. It's me trying to throw 100. It's really happening. I've already begun training. So sub to the Substack too. You can keep track. I'm going to do like blog posts and like kind of journal entries about that process and the things I'm going through. So if you're an aspiring pitcher and you want to see it like in detail, sub to that Substack. It is free. And there will be some goodies in there for paid later if you want. One announcement though, before I go. Next Monday, no show next week. I am going and doing Sunday Night Baseball, the Altcast, ESPN2. I cannot remember. I think it's Philadelphia. Is it Philly Mets? I think so. I think Philly Mets is the first game next Sunday. I don't remember who it is. I think it's Philadelphia versus somebody. So I will see you. I will see you on live. I got to fly back on Monday. And then we will be doing a couple Tuesday shows coming up the weeks following that. The following week after that, into July, will be a Tuesday show. If you are ever wondering what the schedule is for the show when I'm going to be live, there is a calendar on the Substack. Up there it just says show calendar. Click on it. It'll tell you what days the show is, and it will always be at 1 p.m. So if you want to be here live on Twitch or on YouTube, make sure you just turn your notifications on, and it'll do it for you. You can do that too, all right? Bunch of new videos coming for your YouTube. Bunch of new short form content, and as soon as my TikTok gets remonetized, I will post those again as well. You guys have a great one. Drink your water, watch your baseball, and I'll see you next time on Mayday. Everyone, take it easy and stay safe out there. Happy Father's Day. Bye!